Commence E3.
Who ordered the wine?
Sweet berry wine.
Sweet berry wine.
What's up, everybody? AJ and KT are back, and we are here to talk about E3 2024. We have some Kendall Jackson Chardonnay, Grand Reserve.
Cheers.
So our first topic for E3 2024 is Summer Game Fest. We attended Summer Game Fest in LA. We saw our old buddy Jake Baldino, so that was cool. Then something huge happened. While we're sitting there watching the show, Sam Lake comes dancing out, and I'm not going to deny I was feeling pretty cynical because I've been pretty upset that Alan Wake 2 has not been physical, but he stands there and what does he say?
Many of you have been posting your Remedy game collection pictures on your shelves with Alan Wake 2 so far digital only, sadly missing. Well, we are excited to announce physical deluxe editions and physical collector's editions for Alan Wake 2 coming this fall.
He says, Alan Wake 2 is coming physically. I erupted. I was so excited. And you can actually hear me at one point when the crowd simmers down and he's still talking. I actually scream, thank you.
Next.
It's kind of hard to hear. It's kind of hard to hear. He's like starting a new sentence, but that little tiny blip is me saying thank you from the nosebleeds. It was very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
We got some pictures. We had a triumphant return afterwards where I was doing all kinds of dances and stuff outside of SoFi Stadium, YouTube Theater, because of Alan Wake 2.
Mm-hmm. It was a huge deal.
Yeah. Alan Wake 2 is coming physically. It was something that had plagued me. I was so excited to play that game. Now it's finally coming out. Summer Game Fest 2024.
There was a lot of fun stuff, but the first thing that stood out for me was LEGO Horizon Adventures. We thought it was so remarkable that a Sony exclusive IP was going to do a Switch game, put it on Switch, and do a crossover with LEGO. Like it's exciting.
Yeah, bizarre.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
We were like, wow, we're totally gonna get that on Switch just because that's such a, strange occurrence. It's a LEGO game, so you probably just kind of know what you're gonna get. It's just with the Horizon characters, Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. So yeah, that was exciting. Looks funny. Looks like fourth wall breaking. It doesn't seem like they're like staying in universe, which is cool for a LEGO game, I think, to just embrace that. So yeah, I'm excited to play that one. The other one for me that stood out was, and we were like losing it.
Yeah.
Again, we were there in person. So I feel like we might have been like the loudest people in the crowd. I don't know.
But no one could hear us because we were all the way in the back.
Yes.
So that kind of worked out.
My perspective as well. They announced the Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, 2D beat 'em up game that looks like retro style, and it looks so fun. This year we played Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, and it was so much fun. AJ beat it, and then we played it together, and yeah, we just had a blast with it, and so we're excited for a similar looking, beat 'em up kind of game to come out.
Yeah. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Rita's Rewind. I'm so psyched.
So many classic villains.
Yeah, dude.
Rita, obviously, iconic.
Guy, Conic. So I have sort of not really rapid fire, it's just a few things to talk about, and I don't want to go too much in depth. Basically, something that was really exciting to me, I'm a big horror fan, you all know that by now. Blumhouse Games is a thing now, so they're making video games. Fear the Spotlight's going to be the first one, so very exciting. Just more horror games, why not, please. Speaking of horror games, Slitterhead, made by the dude who created Silent Hill. So that's pretty exciting. And then Monster Hunter Wilds, what a shocker. AJ's excited for a Monster Hunter game. So Monster Hunter Wilds looks awesome, and they talked a lot about that. Also, I filmed a Monster Hunter video. Take a peek.
またですね、ゲームズコンではですね、初のプレイヤブルのできるような形で出展も考えておりますので、そちらもぜひ楽しみにしていただけたらと思っています。
So that covers Summer Game Fest 2024. So next up, PlayStation had an E3 event, and they showed a game called Astrobot, which is a follow-up to Astro's Playroom, which was the like just kind of free game on PlayStation 5s, which was really fun. And we played that together. Kind of wish it was like physical, like that they would do like a little physical release. It's such a small game, but still just to kind of like have it for the collection. But Astrobot looks pretty kick-ass. And then the Silent Hill Transmission 2024, they did an E3 show, which was awesome that Silent Hill did one. Silent Hill 2, much anticipated remake. And also the movie, Return to Silent Hill. So, and now whenever it's foggy out, we tell each other there's a Silent Hill Transmission out there.
Yeah. So next up for E3 season, we watched the Guerrilla Collective 2024. What stood out for you?
So for me, the first one I want to talk about is Primal Planet. It looks like an SNES dino type game. And you got a little B-boy, and he's following you around, just a little dino. Looks so cute. I want to play with this little dino so bad. I want him to enjoy his life. We were watching this trailer. Katie says, that little B-boy's a real one. And I'm like, she's right. So, Primal Planet.
Looks really cool. We're going to be showing clips, so we don't really need to talk about it too much.
Don't need to talk about it too much. You
What?
can see what we're... yeah, we just have to sit here.
I mean, I was just going to sit here and look at you.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that one? I know, right? Yeah. The first one that really stood out to me was Creatures of Ava. It is like super colorful and vibrant. You crash on this planet in your like space pod, and there's like an infection in the planet, and you need to save all the creatures, and they're all like these fantastical creatures. Animals. You gotta save the animals, and I love that. Looks like a fun game.
I love saving the B-boys conceptually.
Spoiler alert, but it's kind of a theme, I feel like, for a lot of games that I like wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, save the B-boys and horror.
Foreshadowing.
Another one I want to talk about from Garia is Hollow Body. This looks like a PS2 era Resident Evil, Silent Hill. It's survival horror. You find the fried body in the bathtub and tell it smells terrible, and then go and get...
That. go on, sorry.
You go and you find the monsters and shoot them dead, and then you decide if it's a good idea to get the spear off the wall or not. So, you know, those kind of things. I just love that kind of shit. Like, I just, you know, like, and it's like, oh, maybe by getting this little thing, you're gonna ruin your whole game. You know, like, oh, you shouldn't have picked the spear off the wall in level 2, you know? Now the enemies got 3 times harder. Mm-hmm. So, you know, just stuff like that. That's what I'm here for. So, Hollow Body looks cool.
Yeah, that one did look cool.
Yeah.
Looked like an homage.
Homage. I want to take this moment to mention the drama, the E3 drama we got going on.
Big drama.
It's a battle for the crown. It's a battle for the crown, the E3 crown, you know, ever since the ESA flopped, belly up.
Abandoned us.
Abandoned us. We had a battle. Jeff Keighley initially stepped in with Summer Game Fest, but Justin Woodward has challenged Jeff Keighley for the crown. Take a look at this.
It is the least pretentious showcase you will be checking out this summer. They Not Like Us.
Pretentious. Pretentious. Shots fired. The E3 crown is up in the air. It has bounced off Keighley's head, and Justin Woodward is now grappling for it. We have Garia and Summer Game Fest. Who will take the lead in 2025? I don't know. Right now, it's anybody's game.
And I just have to say, first off, that Guerrilla Collective does an awesome job. They highlight games that we wouldn't hear about otherwise, and we are, you know, physical. We're very hardcore physical gaming collectors, but some of these games come out, and it's really cool to see, to get a spotlight on these games.
Yeah.
And then secondarily, so first off, they do a great job. It's an awesome show. Secondly, I don't think there has to be a crown. I think it's cool that there are so many shows. Alright, so next up, oh my gosh, this one looks so cute. Alright, this one is called The Secret of Crystal Mountain. And it looks directly up my alley. You are a little fox, and you have a little bird in your backpack, and you are exploring and finding clues and treasure, I think. Maybe like collecting, like a little collect-a-thon kind of vibe, because it also looks a whole lot like Banjo-Kazooie.
Bird in the backpack.
Bird in the backpack on top of it. Also a little Wind Waker in there. A little Wind Waker. Love Wind Waker. And you are gonna ride on a manta ray, a giant manta ray in the sky. Beautiful. And a mama penguin saying something along the lines of "Help me find my bebes." So I love that.
Bebes.
With my bebes.
It reminds us a little bit of Smooshy Come Home. Which is a game that we talked about in a previous E3. We were like, well, hopefully it comes out physically. Sure enough, it came out physically, and we loved it. And this is kind of one of those. It feels like that, at least. My final game to talk about from Guerrilla Garia 2024 is Post Trauma, which, again, another scary game with freaky enemy designs. It looks just kind of like we talked about the Evil Within. It looks more psychological, whereas Hollow Body looks more survival horror. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Yeah. Freaky.
Yeah, freaky.
Really freaky.
Yeah.
Really
So-
freaky designs. I feel like we'll probably want to show like a long segment of this one. So it's like, yeah, I mean the
We want you guys to see how freaky this is.
freaky enemy designs and it's all
Yeah.
freaky. Up next is Day of the Devs, which we also always enjoy year by year. And
They put on a good show.
They put on a great show. I feel like what they do is curate a really nice selection of games that are usually like quite up our alley.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's why we, really appreciate them. The first game I wanted to talk about is Petal Runner. It looks so cute. It is like laced with nostalgia because it looks like a Game Boy Color game. It looks like Pokemon on Game Boy Color. And you are delivering pets that are Gigapets. I'm not sure exactly all the details, but it seems like the pets go into the Gigapet and then they come out and you are delivering them to people. They're like powered by flowers, and so you have to play mini games to cultivate the flowers and then make them grow, and that makes you able to have them as pets in these little Gigapets. And then, like I said, they come out of the Gigapets and they're like, real life pets for people. It looks so fun.
And it looks like Pokemon on Game Boy.
Yeah. And the
Which
color.
really tickles my nostalgia.
Yeah, totally. I was just gonna say the colors are super like just vibrant and pretty, and it reminds me of like 80s kind of a little bit with like almost like Miami Vice kind of colors, like the pink,
Yeah.
bright pink and bright purple and bright yellow, So
Yeah.
anyway, that one looks super fun. What about you?
So for me, big one here, folks. Big one. It looks real freaky. Zoocosis. You know what I'm gonna say. You knew what I was gonna say. Zoocosis. It looks really cool. You're in a zoo, and you're gonna be the new night manager, and you're walking around and you're saying, hey, I'm just here to feed the giraffes. But then the giraffe's head slides off and becomes an anaconda, apparently. And so... like, it looks so trippy. It looks like The Thing. Like, it reminds me of The Thing, which,
Yes.
John Carpenter's The Thing is one of my favorite movies. Probably my fourth favorite movie of all time. It's really, like, freaky looking zoo. And, hey, but you can get a Lamborghini if you do the job. It seems like it's a little cheeky, and it's freaky. And maybe you get to save the animals from a horrific destiny kind of stuff. I'm a pretty big fan of saving animals, but also having horror things happen, and so it seems like a really cool mix. I want to play Zoocosis, so Day of the Devs brought me that vision.
Yes. the designs, like, because it's a zoo, and so like there's lots of animals around, and you know, as much as we're trying to like absorb, we're also kind of like, hey, we like really want to play this, so not like study it too much. But
Yeah.
like the designs that we saw of the animals are so freaky.
Yeah, the kangaroo's pouch, instead of being a joey, there's a whole bunch of teeth. It's
Oh
like,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Okay. All right, next for me, I really like the look of Hello Again. The developer says it's the coziest time loop or something like that. Basically, you are shipwrecked on an island and you realize while playing that this island is on a 12-hour time loop, and they just keep repeating Groundhog Day style, and it's like weirdly cozy because it's just kind of, you're exploring and like solving puzzles and having a fun time, but you're also like in a time loop and trying to figure out how to get out. It seems like, I would imagine that's the goal. So yeah, it seems really fun, pretty unique, you know, for a mashup of a lot of different types of games. It seems like a really unique idea.
For me, I wanted to talk about Screenbound. I don't know how into it I would be. I don't know how I'm like, oh, I have to play Screenbound. However, the concept really caught me. I was like, this is cool. Like, it might be fun just to play this game, just to see how they realize this concept. It's, you are playing a Game Boy 2D while navigating a 3D environment. So you're like a first-person dude or dudette walking around a 3D environment with a Game Boy in your hand, and you can only see the enemies on the Game Boy. I don't know what else is going to play in, but if you're not looking at the Game Boy, you're not going to see where the enemies are, at least. So you can't just like look at the 3D environment and try to like platform that way. You have to also watch the screen. A very interesting concept. It just looked like something that I've never seen the likes of before in my entire life. And so if that game happened to come out physically, if, you know, one of these companies, IM 8-bit, Limited Run, whatever, is just like, hey, Screenbound's coming out, I'd be like, I'm going to snatch that up. Because I would like to just see how's it going to be realized.
Yeah, totally. It seems like the trouble with focusing too much on the screen of your Game Boy is that you're gonna fall into pits.
You have to look for the enemies on the Game Boy.
On the Game Boy. And I kind of feel like it's like a message for life, because everybody's glued to their phones. And so it's like, if you're not paying attention to one or the other, you know.
You got to see the Amber Alert on your phone, or you're not going to know the kid that got kidnapped. But if you're not looking out in real life, you're going to crash your car.
Yeah.
So like, that way you can drive your car
Right.
successfully and find the missing child.
Yes, you need maps.
Yeah.
You gotta be checking your Pokemon Go.
You got to do
and
the Pokestops
also
in the
not
car.
fall into manholes.
Right. That's a great point. It's playing Pokemon Go while you're driving. You have to not drive. You have to not drive into pedestrians, but you have to make sure and spin the right Pokestop and drop off at the right gym. We haven't played that game in like 5 years. Wine Refill! Who wants Whiny Palmies? Okay, so Future of Play happened, 2024. Devolver Direct happened in 2024. There was a cake face situation. And then we had Wholesome Direct, which is when we always mark our calendars. We get a big old red circle. Wholesome Direct 2024, Wholesome E3, as it were. What do you got from Wholesome? A Bay Boy.
I wanted to talk about Fantastic Haven. I felt like that one looked really cool. It looked a little bit like, I mean, saying Zoo Tycoon maybe gives you the wrong idea, but you're going to be watching the video, so you'll understand what I mean when I say Zoo Tycoon, because it's like, it seems like you're making exhibits, like little lands for the fantastical creatures. And again, it's like funny, we talked about this for a previous game, but it seems like the land is bad for some reason and you need to save the fantastical creatures. And there are like different factions that you can try to like get them to get along, and it's all for the good of the creatures, and I love that. I want to rescue the creatures, so that one looks fun.
You gotta save the land from its demise. The blight.
The blight on the
blight
land.
on the
You
land.
must save the creatures from the blight.
It's a blight type game. I like that, B-Boy. I like what you're talking about. You know what I want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Crab God. Crab God.
Oh my god.
Crab God was my game of Wholesome Direct 2024, E3 2024, Wholesome Crab God. You get to hatch the next Crab God. And you have to, these You have these little babies, these little baby crabs that you're hatching, and you get to worship them, and you get to like pray to them, and like stuff happens. Abilities, little baby crabs. You're trying to raise the next crab god, and that's really what life is all about: is worshiping the great crab in the sky. And I'm like, this game, if it comes out physically, I might play this game once a year. Is my pilgrimage to Crab God Land. And, you know, it's like, it's my new religion, is Crab God. So that's that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the hatching and raising the next Crab God.
I don't remember any of the gameplay, do you?
Of Crab God?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you're looking at baby crabs.
Okay.
And you're cooking on them and worshiping them and saying, "We love you, little crab." And little crab says, "You've been a good human, and I will give you everlasting bubbles."
So it's not the baby crabs praying to the big crab.
I don't really know. I think you're trying to raise the next crab god, and you have to
Okay.
worship it enough for it to become God.
Amazing. Love
Because
it.
that's pretty much like what religion is in life, right? Is like whatever the most powerful religion is, the God that's real is the one that most people pray to. That's why cats are the real God. And the great floofy cat in the sky
Oh,
is
floofy
the
lady.
Lord Almighty, boy. Yes, the
All right.
floofy lady. Well, Blanket's our God.
Ah, of course. I just mean cats in general. All cats are the divinity.
Catgod.com.
The only other one I wanted to talk about from Wholesome, which, like, honestly, I mean, we're gonna have slides. We're gonna, like, list all the games.
As usual,
Piqued
Katie
our
does a
interest.
great job. Piqued our interest. Katie puts these out.
People, you do a great job. You
I
write
just
them all
edit
down.
me burping.
Another game from Wholesome that I wanted to talk about was called Little Lands, and ooh, it looks cute. It looks like the Link's Awakening art, design style of the cute, bubbly kind of characters. I don't even know how to describe it exactly, but it looks like Zelda-ish gameplay of like exploring and stuff, and I can't tell if you fight or not. You're exploring and maybe fighting and doing some farming and collecting stuff. It seems like maybe that's the game where you catch bugs. I think you are catching bugs.
Does that cover it?
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks really cute. I feel myself getting tipsier by the second.
Alright. Alright. Future Game Show 2024 E3, baby. What do you got? Shoot me with something.
Okay, Future Games Show E3. What stood out to me was World's Worst Handyman. It reminds me of Untitled Goose Game a little bit. And again, on theme for my choices for E3 2024, you're saving animals because you're trying to save your local animal shelter, and I love that. I think that's super, cute, a cute idea for a game. Again, the developer was on there talking about it, and he was like, I'm self-taught, and I wanted to make a stealth horror, I think he called it. So I think that you're like getting, you have to like stealth around people. But he said stealth horror with the charm of Nintendo, and I feel like that comes across very clearly. That it's very cute, but also maybe a little like you gotta do some like creeping around a little bit to get your job done. Don't know how the handyman stuff is gonna come into it, but apparently you're a handyman fixing stuff up.
Throwing banana peels on the ground, I think.
Okay, all right, yeah, I like
I
that.
remember banana peels.
I like that.
Saving animals, it appealed to me too. You tell me you're trying to save animals. Animal shelter. I'm like, alright, that's cute. So, for me, I want to talk about the casting of Frank Stone, which is like a super massive horror, bunch of people doing stuff, and your decisions are going to make them live or die type game. It's set in the Dead by Daylight universe. It might never get a physical release because of that. It's a game that I would play if it comes out physically for sure. Easy peasy, hands down. Looks spooky, looks cool. I would buy all those Until Dawn type games that come out. Like, you want to put it out, I'm going to buy it. And hopefully it comes out, I'm going to buy it. What else do I say? Casting of Frank Stone.
We've never played Dead by Daylight. It's like an online game, seemingly only. so we don't really do that.
The casting Frankenstein, folks.
That's all you need to know,
That's all you need
folks.
to know, folks. All right, you wanted to talk about a claymation, stop motion, spooky type game.
Yes, yes. I have like supreme adoration for creative passion. One of the people creating it, I think he said he was a two-man team, and he said they are driven by creative passion to make this stop motion game. Watching it, it is incredible. You used the word nightmarish, and I loved it. I was like, it's nightmarish. I love the creations that they've made. I don't know if we've ever played a game like that.
I agree.
It's really cool.
I feel
that they
like-
did this.
I feel like watching the gameplay on E3, it like reminded me of like Wand of Gamelon, but not as like an insult. I agree. I mean, I don't think we've ever played a game like that. That could be fun to try that out. Are you ready? All right, folks. PC Gaming Show 2024. We love this vibe. It feels like it was kind of tailored for us. It's funny, we used to like not watch it because we were like, oh, it's the PC Gaming Show and PC games aren't physically made, but it's like, guess what? Sometimes they are physical,
Sometimes.
but for consoles. And so we watch it, and we honestly love it, and we want to talk about it. So what do you got?
It feels like a game that is like specifically crafted for my proclivities. Forgotten Seas. You're crafting a ship in a bottle that then you throw out like a Pokeball, and I don't know why I said it that way, Pokeball, and you throw it out and the ship comes out. It is so cool. It's such a cool idea. Maybe it's just because I've always like loved ships in a bottle. It's just like a thing for me, I guess. But you are crafting your ship, and then you're sailing to new lands, and there's like battles on the ship, and seemingly ship battles like on the water. Like, I don't even know what all's going on, honestly. But I think you're hunting for treasure and crafting camps on maybe islands. Maybe you have a home island. I don't know. But it looks so fun. It looks so fun. I want to play it so bad. I hope it comes out physically.
Ever since we watched that show, you've been talking about the ships and the Pokeballs, the ships and the Pokeballs. You've been really into the ships and the Pokeballs concept.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I just love it. What about you? What did you like from this conference?
You know, for me, this is going to shock a lot of people. I liked the horror game they showed. It was called Still Wakes the Deep. I guess you get fired, and everything, that's the best part of your day. and then
Oof.
it all goes to hell. Like, really goes to hell. It seems sort of just maybe Lovecraftian. It seems just really creepy.
You're working on some kind of rig, mechanic or something, and
Yeah.
then there's like, you guys are gonna see, but there's these like freaky like tentacle things happening. So that's what feels like Lovecraftian, I think.
Yeah.
Tentacle monsters. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You're either turned on by it or you're horrified by it.
So another one from PC Gaming Show that I thought looked really cool was Last Moon, which also I just love the name, obviously. But Last Moon, it looks like an action RPG. It looks like a top-down Zelda-style game, at least the combat, that has really like beautiful colorscapes. There were like spooky enemies that I was not expecting. It was like a fun world to explore and find secrets maybe, and yeah.
Yeah. Local co-op,
Yes.
so I could join in.
Yes.
Slice some baddies with my big boy.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
I hope that one comes out physically. We're just gonna say that about every game. I'm so sorry. We're gonna say that about every game. We
Well,
hope it comes
because
out
if it
physically.
doesn't come out physically, it doesn't exist. Alright,
To
let's
us.
just cut to the chase.
Yes.
To us, who are the center of the universe.
But it looks super fun. Looks super cute. Alright. Hi.
Capcom did an E3, Ubisoft did an E3. We're going to get into Limited Run, though, next. Limited Run E3. I want to talk about, basically, it's just old games that they're releasing physically on like Switch. Beyond Good and Evil and Hitman Blood Money. Both games I love from back in the day. Especially Hitman Blood Money, but I mean Beyond Good and Evil as well. Just wanted to kind of throw those out there. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Just to tack on to the kind of remakes, remasters of games. Star Wars Dark Forces. It's in the style of just kind of like classic FPS, Doom vibes, you know, like PC Doom. PC Wolfenstein, which is what I played. 1995, I think I looked it up recently. I think it was 1995 that it came out originally. That one looks really fun to hit up.
Yeah.
And then apparently Limited Run is publishing a game called Renane, which I thought looked really cute too. Got cutesy stuff going on. Someone says shroomies or something like that, and it's like colorful and I think 8-bit design, gameplay and stuff. And yeah, you know, just fun. I just wanted to note it. Renane.
Renane. THQ Nordic also did an E3. And then the next one we're going to talk about though, who, it's so hard. I don't know who won E3, but it may have been Nintendo. If it wasn't Summer Game Fest with Alan Wake 2, it was Nintendo.
So it's probably always going to be Nintendo for us.
Nintendo's E3 2024 had one game in particular that we're going to save for last, I assume. The first one I'm going to talk about is Mio, Memories in Orbit. Watching the gameplay made me feel a little bit like Inside maybe meets Hollow Knight. I was really into the look of that game. I thought it looked fun and would love to give it a try. What do you got from Nintendo, nerd? How about you?
My goodness. There is a game called Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and it looks absolutely adorable. It looks like it is a Hello Kitty Animal Crossing game where you have, oh man, exploration to do, friends to make, decorations to be had, clothing to be acquired. It looks so cute and so fun. I mean, so cozy. Geez, so much stuff going on. Truly, truly looks like Hello Kitty meets Animal Crossing New Horizon, and it is something I want to play really, really bad.
It looks really cute. It looks really fun. I'm going to talk about something that looks spooky alien. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I've never actually beaten a Metroid Prime game. I beat Metroid Dread, and I've played a lot of 2D Metro games, but I honestly have not played Metroid as much as I wish I had over the years. And I would say Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, though, looks awesome. So I'm excited for that. It's a 3D Metroid game. I've played a lot of 2D Metroid, but I'm excited though to play this game. And I do have the remake or remaster or whatever of Metroid Prime on Switch. I need to play that still. It's funny. I actually bought Metroid Prime on GameCube when I was a kid and never opened it, so I still have it sealed. I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yeah, it reminds me of like N64 kind of games, to be honest, just like for me, from my experience. I feel like the 3D action kind of, shooter, like it just looks really cool. Okay, so another one from Nintendo that I was like, oh my gosh, looks so cute, is Tales of the Shire. I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. It just looks super cozy, super cutesy, and you're cooking and you're fishing and you're maybe farming, I'm not sure, making friends and having little dinner parties and stuff. Just like, decorating, of course, decorating. You have to decorate your hobbit hole. Oh my goodness, it looks absolutely precious, and I am really excited to play this one.
Does that bring us to the big Nintendo bomb?
I believe so.
Alright, folks. So Nintendo was all like, hey, you like Zelda, right? And you liked the Link's Awakening remake, right? Well, check this out. And they told us The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, and I mean, that was all Katie and I had to hear in order to blast off through the ceiling.
Yeah.
The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, we're blown away, we're so excited, you're Zelda because Link got taken away into the dark purple, and Zelda is here now with Tri and the Tri-Rod to turn beds into platformy sections.
Yeah.
And also you can take enemies and you say, hey enemy, you want to fight for me? And the enemy's like, no, and you're like, well, too bad. And you take the enemy and you throw it out, and it has to fight for you now. And
You're
it
an
sounds
Echo now.
you're an Echo now. You've been put in your own little hell, and you will fight for Zelda. It is one of the top games for me from E3 2024. I am so excited. And they're also saying, hey, how about a Switch Lite? You want a Switch Lite that looks like Zelda? Here you go.
It looks so cool. I love it. It looks like really fun, really innovative, really original. Like, just incredible gameplay.
It's what Zelda does.
Mechanics.
Why do they always make the best stuff? It makes us look like homers.
We're Nintendo homers. We've said it for years. That's what we're here talking about. Is what we love.
Video games are my favorite. Oh, E3. Show me something I want to see. My B-boy.
Mighty boy.
Is that it for Nintendo?
Yeah. We've gotten progressively more tipsy. We only have one more conference, but we're gonna go grab kittens because why wouldn't we grab kittens? Obviously, they should be here. So, we're gonna go do that. Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Neighbor and Nagakuga's first E3.
E3.
Lady, fluffy lady.
Even.
We have a very important announcement to make. We are at the final showcase of E3 2024, and we have Xbox. We're on Xbox. And it's very important because Kugi here, little man, he's in charge of many business operations, and one of the things that he helped facilitate was a handshake deal. He helped us facilitate a handshake deal because, as you see, Sarah Bond and Matt Booty are very committed to physical media. Check this out.
And we look forward to getting their ambitious games in your hands.
Matt Booty says that they're looking forward to getting the games in our hands.
In your hands.
In our hands.
Wow.
And Sarah Bond says,
By bringing your games into the future with our commitment to game preservation.
game preservation.
Wow.
Xbox, we know now, is the most committed company. Microsoft, the most committed to physical media.
Game preservation.
They're so committed, like Hellblade 2 and Avowed.
Wow.
Much like the kittens are committed to being here.
Much like the commitments.
Bud. He's a cute little man.
It's a handshake deal.
He says, give me a handshake deal. I'm going to win no matter what.
Fluffy lady. Don't call me Fluffy.
What's that
She's
toy?
a Fluffy.
Maybe a shark? Maybe they could share a purr pop.
Perpop.com.
So, Xbox, huh?
As we have established, they are very committed to physical media, and I love to hear it. I know Xbox. Their track record is just so excellent when it comes to physical media.
Wow.
So, aside from all of those promises that they made, what were some games from the quite good Xbox E3 showcase?
Well, I think I would be quite a bit of a clown if I did not say Doom, The Dark Ages.
Ooh, that one looks good, dude.
You got these skulls that you're grinding up so you can shoot the little bits at demons.
Looks sick.
I mean, I don't know what to say. It looks sweet. You know?
It does.
Mommy's eyebrows are clean tonight.
They clean. She didn't need to clean them right now. Most of the time, needs to clean.
What do you think? What do you think, B-Boy? What's E3 Xbox you got?
Well, I thought Avowed looked really cool. It's Obsidian, and they seem to be doing their own take on Skyrim, which I might have said before because I think we had seen a teaser at least for this game. But it looks super cool. There's like magic and there's like, you know, beautiful worldscapes and stuff. It looks fun.
Yeah.
Lots of different types of combat. It looks like a lot like Skyrim.
Yeah.
I love Skyrim, and you know, I say it all the time. But you know, I'm into it.
You're there.
And I hope it comes out physically.
It will. They're gonna get the ambitious games in our hand.
In your hands.
Wow.
Handshake deal.
Handshake deal. Uh-oh.
Baby.
Uh-oh.
Hi, baby.
Lady has climbed.
What about you, nerd? Do you have any other things you want to talk about for Xbox?
Yeah.
Devolved into kitten time?
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about South of Midnight. I think we already talked about it in a previous E3.
Yeah. That
And
looks so cool.
Sarah Bond has told us about game preservation, so I know it's coming out physically. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm very excited about South of Midnight. It looks really cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah, the world that they have created there is so cool. It's like the bayou, but clearly, again, another theme I feel like is like the land's infected and you have to save it. But
Restore flowers to the gardens.
yeah, there's like some like sickness going on in the world, and you have to, you know, bring life back, and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
And really good voice acting. I feel like there was some cool accents and stuff in the trailer.
Oh, you get a Kermit the Frog?
Yeah, Kermit the Frog.
Kugi, don't you want to see the Kermit the Frog companion?
He does. Clearly some like melee stuff going on with like a bunch of different types of weapons, it seems like. But then there's also maybe like magic happening. Oh, obviously, I thought Indiana Jones and the Great Circle looks awesome. It seems like it's gonna carry the like spirit of the movies really well. It's not like over the top exactly, but it's like there's just like a silly element to it of like silly stuff happening, and I love it. And it seems like at least from the trailer that carries through the game, and so I'm really excited about that one.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really excited about that one too. A Perfect Circle is a good band. And I know that they talked about that in the trailer.
You'd get a perfect circle.
Right.
I think I'm most excited about the fact that all these games are coming out physically just because of game preservation. We're getting the ambitious games in our hands.
Yeah. Also, it's Machine Games doing the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle game. The gameplay that they did show, it looks like Wolfenstein and stuff,
Wolfie.
which is awesome. I love it. It's
Yeah.
just like plus an Indiana Jones whip, and it looks so cool. I can't wait to see how that plays out, how that goes.
I want to whip the choo-choo guy.
Yeah. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Lady says choo-choo. Okay, lady.
Do you have...
Oh.
She says, I am climbing. Thank you. I'm climbing.
Mm,
Thank you.
climbing.
Bye.
Climby lady.
I'm climbing. Go.
Back bridge.
No, Daddy's good.
Building bridges. Sam Porter bridges. Porter bridges. Building bridges.
Hi, baby. She says, ooh, is this treat? Is this for me? There is a treat. And it is for her.
Kugi, as you know, has a bum leg. A little man. He's got a bum leg. But it doesn't stop him. He's a little munsty.
Yeah.
Hi, Kugi. So Kugi is a Casey little man.
Mm-hmm.
Are you Casey? Alright, folks. Xbox, they did a good one. It was good, you know. You if Xbox bought PlayStation and Nintendo, you know, it's like they'd really have a good conference. Microsoft has the money.
Wow.
It was a good one.
It was a good one. Did you have any others that you were trying to talk about?
I do have to say, man, back in the day, I was an Xbox 360 gamer. That was my primary console for a couple years there in the mid 2000s, like 07, when Gears of War first came out. And I loved Gears of War. I loved the trailer. The trailer with Mad World, the song. That's like really what like honestly sold me on the game. It was like one of the most effective ads for me in my life. And so with Gears of War E-Day, they announced it and they kind of like had like rendition of Mad World, and I was like, they're trying to sell this to like the 30 and 40 year olds right now. That hit me a little bit. I'm like, I want to play Gears of War E-Day. And you know, I respect the Gears of War franchise because I feel like that's something Xbox cultivated.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of just like buying it, I feel like they like cultivated that. This is like an Xbox thing.
Yeah.
And I am very excited for Gears of War E-Day. And what's really funny is, ironically, I might end up playing on PS5. They're kind of, I mean, they really, I'm not joking, they really don't seem interested in consoles anymore. Somehow, some way, I am going to play Gears of War E-Day.
Baby.
You know, coming into this conference, I feel like what I was really expecting was several studio acquisition announcements, followed swiftly by those studios' closures and subsequent game cancellations. And instead, there were some cool games announced, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Set your bar low, folks, and then you'll be pleasantly surprised. Life hack.
Life hack.
It was a fun one. It was fun.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
Especially with the announcement about game preservation.
Yeah.
It was huge. Are we going to give them a purr pop on camera?
Yeah, I think we should.
So these little babies have never had a purr pop.
Oh, are you ready for that though?
Yeah.
Look at him. Give me. I want that.
Coogie's such a grappler.
He is. Alright, folks. We got a purr pop here. We're gonna be showing, at the end, we're gonna be showing a, you know, slideshow of all the games that we wanted to note but didn't necessarily just want to talk about.
With that, B-Boy and people.
Right, folks.
Folks. E3 2024, is that, is it complete?
I think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who won E3 2024? Was it Sam Lake or was it Zelda?
I feel like it's gotta be Zelda.
I know, it's gotta be Zelda, because Alan Wake 2, it's like, I'm really excited for it, but that was just simply like, oh, it's physical now.
Right.
Like, Echoes of Wisdom? Yeah, I agree.
New game.
A new
game announcement.
Look at what he's doing right now. Look at how he's gripping my fingers.
He's so cute. Wow, look at those claws, dude.
Little Nargacuga.
Yeah, he's a little Nargacuga.
Alright, folks, well, that was E3 2024, and we hope you enjoyed watching us drink KJ Chardonnay and get tipsy and cuddle the kitties. Blanket, by the way, still doing good. We want to work her into a video. She actually had a pretty chunky biopsy recently. She's recovering from surgery. Luckily it wasn't cancerous though, but she's still being a boss. A little warrior.
She's a queen.
Yeah, the queen, man. 17 and a half years old. Neighbor Cougar, just a little jesty still. But now they're gonna eat a purr pop. We are AJ and Katie, and this is AJ and Katie Gaming, and we're gonna see you all later, but also give the kittens a purr pop. Heart. You ready?
Yeah. Ooh, she took a chomp. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Whoa, big chunk bud.
Wow.
You done? You're so cute.
Kugi's such a foodie.
He is. Oh my god, he's so cute. Whoa.
Whoa.
That was a fun treat, buds.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cute.
Look at this, he cleaned it.
Chompy man.
He cleaned it.
Thanks for watching.
Well, see you later. It looks really cute. Honestly,
I really want to play this.
I would play it. I would play it. Yeah, I would honestly. This week on Miami Vice, Eduardo gets the boss a coffee.
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying words, but I am saying nothing of content.
Future game show, 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 future game show.
I was thinking we should have Kugi strumming the guitar.